Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a whole new episode of Young All American State of My Podcast with your boy, the Young All American Justin Foley.
With your young superstar, Brandon Copman.
Man, how you doing, my guy?
Man, I'm doing good, bro. Just I woke up, uh, prayed, and then I started my day off with like a morning jog, get my cardio and stuff back into repair. To repair. I said repair to repair. But yeah, bro, that's how I started my morning off, and my body's feeling good, so I can't really complain. How you doing?
Man, I'm straight, man. But for those who maybe have not or didn't see the announcement we made, man, my Guardian All American, he is participating in the U.S. World Open. My guy's
Yes,
gonna get
sir.
to it, and he's gonna be doing his thing, man. Talk about it.
It's like I'm like super excited because like I didn't have any closure to my 2020 season, and to be able to come back and have at least some closure to that, um, to be able to compete against the best wrestlers, not just in the nation but in the world. Like I think um, that's better. Um, I don't know. It's just really is really like satisfying. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
just to be able to get the experience to really expose like my skill level against those type of like level guys, and I get to showcase my skills in front of cameras and different different people and stuff. So I'm just really excited. Just really excited.
Man, like how does it feel knowing that you're gonna be competing on that high level again?
It feels good. I'm not really worried about winning or losing. I just want to be able to compete at the highest level that I can ever compete at. That's what I'm focused on right now. Just competing at the highest level uh, that I can ever compete in. Like all the wins and losses and stuff. Like I mean, that's just that's gonna follow for whatever I do. You know what I mean? But like,
Mhm.
I just want to be able to compete like the best I've ever competed in my life. Like that's what I'm more focused on right now.
Okay, how does it feel to be making that return, man?
It feels surreal, you know. It's been almost like a year and a half, and I'm really just really taking like my diet and stuff serious. Um, but it feels good. I just been like, going to work and coming home, but like you only get to live once, and like I feel like I need to be doing more. You know what I mean? Like living because think about this, yesterday can't come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the day before that is not going to come back. Like each day is a new day, so you got to just take advantage of that. So it feels really good because like I've been really wanting to compete, really compete. Um, because I mean, you just watching sports in general makes you want to compete.
Mhm.
Like you got March Madness on, and Super Bowl just ended of like a month ago. Um, Earlier in the month, I would say. Um, College football just ended. I mean, it's just so much stuff that makes you want to compete and do something with your life. So I'm just excited. I'm excited.
Man, I'm just really so proud of you for you like being courageous enough to do something that you want to do. Because a lot of people uh aren't brave enough to follow their dreams, but yet here you are doing your thing, man.
Yeah, because it's like like we talked about in church, like fail forward. You know what I mean? Like you have to get out of your comfort zone to be successful. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And it's like you have to like follow your dreams no matter how scary they are. Like we live in a world that where we just talk about like, oh, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, but never take any action. Like just take action and do it. Stop talking about it so much and just do it, you know?
Mhm. That's fact, man. Like a lot of people, they just talk about it, and oftentimes when people are just talking about like when they see somebody else following their dreams, like or achievement or living their dreams, they like to talk negatively about them just off because like they wasn't brave enough to do that themselves. So now they just hating like because they see uh what they were scared to do. They see somebody else doing it.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's the I think that's like the main thing about this world is like we just got to start taking, like you said, just action and not watching other people or wishing that we were other people when we can be those people even better than if we just take action and just take the step by step each day.
Yeah, and that's like when you do when you go after the things you want to do in life, it's such a fulfilling feeling knowing that you're doing something that you want to do, and also you never know where you might end up along that journey or like how far you might just end up going, and you might end up becoming like somebody that other people look up to just out the fact that you just being yourself, doing something that you want to do.
Oh yeah, for sure, bro. And you know, um, like I said, better days are always coming. You know, and we all have bad days and bad moments, but that doesn't determine how successful you're going to be. You know what I mean? Unless you let it overtake you.
Mhm.
But bad moments and bad days don't determine like how successful you're going to be. You know what I mean? Or that doesn't mean you're going to fail in life. Like,
Mhm.
no, it's just part of life and it's part of character building. And if anything, it I take that back. If anything, it helps you to push towards your goals.
Mhm.
Because those in a storm, like those are like I feel like that's when you are really like made. Like that's when you're really being built, being tested. Is like really in a storm.
Yeah, man, that's so true. You know, that's when you really find out who you really are as a person. You know, because there will become a time where you're gonna have to stand on all those things you say you stand for, all those morals and principles that you swear that you live by. One day you're gonna have to live by, you know. And if you're not, then like you don't really live by those morals or those principles. You know, you don't really you kind of like more you don't have no morals, no principles if you don't have nothing like no beliefs for you to stand on, you know.
Yeah, bro. Like you said, like in the storm, like those. Um, that's really it shows who you really are in a storm. And like if you don't got no morals, no beliefs, or nothing just to like stand on, like you're gonna like let that moment or that situation overtake you, and then now you're 2 steps behind, and soon you'll be 3 steps behind, and now you're 4 steps behind. And it's just like now, like you're overthinking everything, and now you have a whole bunch of anxiety. Now you in depression. Like,
Yeah.
nah, you just gotta just stay strong in a storm. Be be who you are. All you gotta do is just be yourself in a storm. Like you don't gotta try to be, you don't gotta try to do anything like special. You just gotta just get through it, learn from it, and move on.
Bro, that's so real, man. Like how has like your headspace been since you resumed training?
It's been a lot better. Like I'm just really like focused and like if I have, because I do have some bad moments and some bad days just from like work and stuff. Things that's not like relating to wrestling, or
Mhm.
but I just try to redirect my thoughts. Like, I try to think about something that just makes me happy. Like I got like 6 things coming in the mail that like I ordered and stuff. I'm looking forward to that. You know what I mean? Like whatever it is that you're looking forward to that makes you happy, redirect your thoughts to that instead of worrying about the situation that you wish you had or wish you had this right now. Like worry about this. Like worry about the good things that's coming, that things that you may have like ordered, or if you're going out with your friends, or like you going over to a friend's house to like chill and talk, like look forward to those things because it just helps you with like your mindset. Like a lot of things is just redirecting your thoughts. Like we're in full control. Like God gives us uh full authority over our bodies. We are in full control of our bodies. So like that means that we are in full control of our thoughts. So if you're thinking bad thoughts, just redirect those thoughts towards something that you're looking forward to. And that's kind of what I've been doing, is just redirecting my thoughts. Okay, I got this coming up, I got this coming up, this is about to be going on. It's just so much that I'm been doing better of. I'm not perfect at it, but
Yeah.
I'm getting better at it.
Man, like how did you learn to like redirect your thoughts?
I, it's just from like situations, and um, it comes from I used to be the person, like even recently, like, man, I know, like I'm the one that walks, in purity, and I do this, do that. Like I don't deserve to be where I am right now. You know what I mean? But it's just like I know I'm gonna be successful because I know God is guiding my steps. I just trust in His process. So the way I've learned is like, okay, it's just life. You know what I mean? It's just part of my journey. It's just part of my story. And what helps me is knowing that I'm not going to be here in the same spot my whole life. You know
Mm,
what I mean? Because that's not my calling to. You know what I mean? That's not anybody's calling to be in the same spot forever. People just choose to. You feel me? And I've just learned from like experiences, because if I didn't learn how to redirect my thoughts, like I wouldn't be able to grow, or I'll probably be doing something that I'm not supposed to be doing. And with doing that, that can pull you out of God's plan.
mm. Bro, break that down, like how like people choose to really stay in the same position, man, instead of working towards going further. Like talk about that, my guy.
Uh Man, it's just so deep, bro, because like people don't want to take people don't want to that's going back to um where we talk about comfort zone. A lot of people like being comfortable, you know what I mean? But like a lot of people don't like being uncomfortable. Like you have in life, you have to be uncomfortable. And I think comfortability and having I said two things why people are in the same spot that they are in today. Not everybody, but the people that they are. One, they have a lot of yes men in a circle,
Mm,
and two, just being comfortable where they are. Like if another job opportunity pops up, like no, I'm comfortable. I know my coworkers here. Like
mhm.
I just got a routine with this job. I don't want to leave. Like no, go to a new job, take the opportunity. Like just because you gotta, make new friends at work or whatever your goal is, like just take advantage of like the opportunity. And I think with people having like for example, having being a yes man, probably telling them to like, no, you shouldn't leave to the other job because this is comfortable for you and you know everybody here. Like that's being a yes man. Like, and I feel like you gotta have people in your corner like, no, take advantage of the next opportunity. Don't just sit there and 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 just sit at the same job for years. Like each job you leave should always be better. You know what I mean? Don't sit in the same spot forever, um, because you're not going to get anywhere. You know what I mean? You're not. You. That's just not the way the world works. So, like I said, the two main things is just being comfortable and having yes men.
Man, bro, people don't realize how dangerous it can be just to stay in a comfortable position, because when you're comfortable, oftentimes there's no growth there.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like it's no, like you said, it's no growth where you're comfortable. You know what I mean? Like it's easy right now to say like right now we're in a comfortable headspace, like, ooh, everything is going good and like I don't gotta worry about nothing. Like I'm comfortable. But like, what about when you're in a storm though? You know what I mean? Like, what do you like what do you do? You just gonna sit there and just be stagnant, or you gonna get up and like know who you are? You know what I mean? You gotta just be confident in who you are, and just and just move forward.
Yeah, man. That's so real, man. Like, what else has been going on in the world of the young All American, man? What else is new?
Girls come and go, guys come and go, but I'm really learning that like it's not always about looks, but it's just really about like who can genuinely like make you happy, and who can go in the same direction that you're going in, and who can support you no matter if you're wealthy or not. You know what I mean? And I think those things come into play, because like if you have the like finest like looking girl, somebody that looks like Jennifer Lopez or something, but like that doesn't make you, but you guys are arguing all the time, like that's, why would you be with someone that doesn't make you happy? You're better off being single, if anything, if you're trying to be with someone that's like the baddest female, or like the greatest looking guy or whatever. Like it's not about looks or like money or any of that. It's just about like who can genuinely like make you happy, who can push you even further towards your goals in life. But that's kind of what I've been thinking about lately. It's just like, man, like all you need is someone who's like genuinely like down for you. Like, hey, like, or if you're having like a bad day, someone that can just genuinely pick you up. Like, no, you're better than this. You can go on and do far more than where you were at today. So that's kind of what's been going on in my world, and something that I've really been thinking about lately.
Bro, that is so true because when you find an individual who can really like be your peace, and like also push you towards being like a better version of yourself, man, that is such a blessing in itself. And it's like with an individual like that, you can really like reach all your goals, and you can really just level up in life. You don't have to worry about like different little distractions. Like you don't have to worry about being irritated. Oh my god, like man, here she go doing this stuff again, this and that,
Right.
or here he go with this nonsense or whatever. When it's just like when both parties involved, I just really like helping shape each other to become like the best versions of themselves and not necessarily stressing like their partner out. It's like man, that man, that's something beautiful, man.
It is, bro, because everybody don't have what you just explained. You know what I mean? Like a lot of you see a lot of relationships with that problem with what you were just saying. Like here she go again, or here he go again. Like why stay in something that's stressing you out? Like, and that's why I got to a point, bro. Like no, like you got to know that like I'm really learning more and more about like my self-worth each day, because it's like, no, you better than that. Like you don't need to be like arguing with a guy or arguing with a girl that you barely know. Like, you know what I mean? Nobody got time for that. Like that's just so much negative energy. Like you could be putting so much energy into something that like someone else that really cares and really genuinely cares about you. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
but people, I think we live in a world where people love being toxic. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? But that's a conversation for a different day. But like,
No, let's talk about that, man. Let's talk about that, man. Because like a lot of people don't realize like that they are toxic, you know,
yeah,
and they think like the way they're behaving is just normal, like, and it's all right and it's okay. But it's like no, like the way you're acting, and behaving is causing other people uh problems and it's really harming and damaging others.
yeah,
And it's like you have to hold yourself accountable. Like, dang, like yeah, I am tripping. What I'm doing is wrong. But sometimes people don't even know that. They don't even hold themselves accountable.
for sure, bro. Yeah, and I think that's a big thing. Is just holding yourself accountable for being toxic, and it's okay to be honest with yourself about that. Like, I
Yeah.
think that's really powerful to be honest with yourself. Like, man, yeah, maybe I am being a little toxic.
Mhm.
Like you gotta. I feel like with if you're toxic, that means you're not understanding about anything. You know, you're jumping to conclusions. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? And believe in lies. And I think those are like the top three things of being toxic, bro. Because like, and it brings so and and it brings a lot of like trust issues too, along with being toxic, bro. You know,
Mhm. And it's like, man, like there's so many ways to be toxic.
it
Yeah.
is.
And it's like oftentimes we don't recognize them because like a lot of us haven't seen what real love look like in
Mm,
first person, and we just end up just going off of what we see in movies and what we see on TV shows, but it's like what we see on movies and what we see in TV shows that isn't reality, man.
yeah, it's really not like, bro. That is so true. Like, bro, like that's probably like the realest thing. Like, that's a whole gem right there because we we live in a world that like we watch so much TV nowadays, especially since COVID hit. Like
Mhm.
we watch so much TV, so much movies, and we think that's how like relationships are in real life, but it's really not. Like
Yeah.
99% of the time, like you ever think like, oh, this is how it's gonna go in my head, but in
Mhm.
reality, that's not how it's gonna go.
Yeah.
That's just that's just the reality of life because it's maybe like 1% is very rare because some we use lucky, but I don't like believe in luck or anything, but it's just a term that we use when someone like something spectacular happens to someone, but like 99% of the time, like that's like the reality. How you think it's going to go in your head is not how it's going to happen in real life.
That's facts. And it's like with these movies and TV shows and stuff, we create these expectations that people cannot live up to. These false expectations for reality. When it's like in reality, everything is usually it's up and down. You know, like yes, it's like things ain't gonna always be perfect. I'm not saying that, and things ain't gonna always be terrible, but there's like there's just a way things go.
Yeah,
Like life is all about the yin and yang. There's gonna be good things that happen, there's gonna be bad, but you have to navigate both.
yeah, yeah. And I think too, added to what you're saying too, is just when you add those things, you got to accept them. Because if you don't accept them, like that's when the problems and stuff overtakes the like the relationships and just and even like your personality. Like we think everything is just gonna be like a white picket fence or a gated community and a big house with a pool and stuff. Or like that's like though with they like media and TV shows and movies
Mhm.
always predict perfect marriages and perfect relationships. You know what I mean? Like, and in reality, like real problems come up, real situations come up. Like,
Mhm.
like just like you said, accepting like the yin and yang, the bad and the good, and um, just being able to navigate both and not just one side of it.
Yeah, exactly. I'm happy you say like not just one side of it, because when it comes to like accepting things and accepting people, especially like when you're like in a relationship or something like that, you don't have to necessarily accept like the BS. Like the things that you are not willing to tolerate. Like if you're not willing to tolerate, you just aren't willing to tolerate. It is what it is. But we're not saying like you have to settle for disrespect. You have to accept
Right.
disrespect. Nah, but you have to be able to accept like everything isn't gonna be perfect.
Yeah, I think that's the big, yeah, bro. You broke that down perfectly. Like, I don't think you don't got to settle for disrespect, but knowing going forward that this relationship is not going to be perfect because there's no such thing as a perfect relationship. There's no
Mhm.
such thing as a perfect friendship. Like, there's no perfect anything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think people get so much of their hopes up of believing that this is how it's going to be. This is going to be perfect. Nothing bad is going to happen. No, like bad things happen to good people. Bad things happen to bad people too. You know what I mean?
It's all
Like
a part
that's
of
just
life.
yeah, it's just life, bro. Like, come on now, like and when you look at that from that perspective, it makes you feel more comfortable. Bad things happen to everybody.
Hmm.
Everybody. Like it's so many stories and like news things that you can read about things happening to good people and things happening to bad people. It's just it's like a balance. It's a balance in the world, bro. It is, but people don't recognize the balance in the world and they don't want to accept it.
Yeah. Because life is gonna balance out everything.
Yeah.
Like it's gonna balance out the good, it's gonna balance out the bad. And like the lows are gonna be higher and so are the highs, like that's just like how things like work naturally, especially I guess you're growing as a person, you
Yeah.
know. And like
And
for me, like my highs are new highs and my lows are higher than what they used to be.
like, wow, bro. Yeah, this is so true, bro. And that's so real. And that's being, that's being real. And that's reality, bro. That's like reality. And it's days where honestly, like where one day I feel like, man, I feel motivated, I feel good. And then
Mhm.
there's some other days where I'm like, man, I don't feel like so good, but you know what I mean? Like I just
Yeah.
not motivated some days, but
Mhm.
that's just life, bro. Like you're gonna be feeling days like that. You're not always gonna wake up energized, feeling good, everything going good. Like things come up, things happen, and that's just what it is.
Yeah, man, like passion isn't always gonna be there, but even without the passion, you can keep the consistency and the discipline to keep on going in whatever you're doing in your life. Like nobody expecting you to be on 10 all the time because like not everybody's wired like that, and not a lot of people are wired like that. But just to like transition, man, like, what do you think about like what's been going on in the NFL this off season?
Bro, I'm gonna say this once, and this is what I believe. This is the craziest off season that this is probably the craziest off season in NFL history. In NFL history, in
Yeah.
my opinion. This is the craziest NFL offseason in NFL history. With free agencies, with trades, with players that's leaving, with players that's coming back, players asking for more money. You're starting to see more teams build a super team almost, and it's just crazy. It's crazy. Like
Yeah.
that, I really believe this is the craziest NFL like uh off season like ever.
What's been some like your favorite moves that you like seen so far?
Like you got Russell Wilson going to Denver. We thought Russell Wilson was gonna stay in Seattle. You got Khalil Mack. You got Khalil Mack on the LA Chargers along with Derwin James
Mhm.
and Joey Bosa.
Mhm.
And then you got Devontae Adams on the Las Vegas Raiders who just left who just got traded. And then you got Tariq, you got Tariq Hill traded from the Kansas City Chiefs to the Miami Dolphins for five round picks.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
then it's crazy, bro. Crazy.
And like this off season has been very active, man. I feel like with a lot of like younger GMs that are in the league now, I feel like they're more active and like actively trying to make trades and make their teams better, or at least trying to get their teams to compete in the off season, like well in playoffs, really.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I totally agree with you. They're literally building a team to compete for a Super Bowl. Rather, like I feel like it's getting out of kind of like okay. we're gonna build a team that's gonna last for like 10 years. This is gonna be the dynasty. Like, no, they just gonna worry about the season that's coming up. You're gonna put together the best team that you can to try to compete for a Super Bowl this upcoming season. Because after you win a Super Bowl, players may want to get traded. Like that might be their goal is to get a Super Bowl ring and then just bounce to a different team.
Yeah.
Like players have options, and GMs are now. I mean, like I said, like you're seeing more teams build a team to try to win a Super Bowl rather building a team that's going to last for 5 to 10 years.
Yeah, man. I guess it kind of reminds me like when I was younger, like when we used to play Madden, you do a little franchise mode, and like you just like with your team, like you're like trading like random players and this and that, like just going all willy nilly. But like now, like those guys are like really making those type of moves, man.
Yeah, for sure. Like that's a good analogy, bro. Like that is so true. Like on Madden, we used to, like you say, we do all these crazy trades, and like now it's actually happened in reality.
Yeah. Yeah, I just love to see like these younger GMs like just get after it, and not necessarily just waiting to have an opportunity to win or just waiting to go to the draft. Like no, like they're going for it all. Like man, like that shit makes the sport more entertaining in general.
For sure, bro. And um, it does. And to see like one person I'm really proud of too is like, and I know like there's still some stuff that he has to beat out, but like the Deshaun Watson thing,
Mhm.
like he he he's taking the right steps of beating those cases out, which he technically already did, but it's still some other things that he has to like beat out. But like, but so I ain't trying to make it political, but like I'm just glad that like he's going to a new team. I'm glad that he's going to be getting paid a good amount of money. Um, Considering the fact like you got to think like he's probably feel like embarrassment, and if those things are like lie he got probably I'm assuming like he got lied on, and this is publicly, so like this could ruin a whole man's life. So
Mhm.
just to see him to be able to overcome that mentally and come back and get in the bag on a team that's probably could run for a Super Bowl now,
Mhm.
um, is very like encouraging, I would say.
Yeah, and it's like man, like I don't know what did or didn't happen, but he beat the criminal charges or whatever. So like now he has to deal with the civil charges now, and I'm wondering what the NFL is going to do about that. I wonder is the NFL going to suspend him like for like half the league, like kind of do him how they did Kareem Hunt. So it's going
Yeah,
to be really interesting to see.
yeah, it really will, because like the thing that I didn't get is just like the NFL is kind of weird, because it's like, okay, you suspend him for half a season, but like how do you how do you how do you suspend uh 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 Calvin, I think it's Calvin Ridley, for a
Hmm.
whole season for gambling $1,500?
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like where is the NFL is kind of weird, bro. And I'm like, you suspend him a whole, think about this, bro, a whole 2022 season
yeah.
for gambling money. For
Mhm.
gambling money.
And it's like, man,
It's
when
crazy.
you're in these different leagues, like you gotta play by their rules, especially if you want to be in the league. It is different. Like if you don't want to be in the league, but if you know you want to be in the league, you gotta play by where the rules are.
Yeah,
And it's just that. So either either deal with it or get out. That's just literally just like that. It it
yeah,
it, it might be challenging and sometimes conflicting, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. Like we don't have our own league, so you have to play by their rules for now.
yeah. that goes along what we just talked about. That's reality.
Mhm.
Like we come up with these things, like, or people come up with these things, even going to the NFL, like thinking like, okay, I'm gonna play by my rules, but like a lot of times, like you gotta that's just life, bro. Like you gotta, like you just said, like you gotta play by their rules. You know, that's just it's set, and like hopefully something can change, but like right now, that's just like the reality of it. You know, and it's only so much you can do, but just accept it and just learn from it.
That's nice, man. And with the NBA season, like slowly coming towards the end, reaching like the playoffs are right around the corner, man. Like what do you think? What are your thoughts?
I think the NBA title is really up for grabs. I think I like how the NBA is nowadays. Like you don't know who's gonna take it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
like my favorites is obviously Phoenix because they just have too much firepower and they're consistent and they got good
Mhm.
chemistry and they got good leadership. But nowadays, like anybody can win the championship nowadays. Like,
Yeah.
you know, I know James Harden is on like Philadelphia. I just don't like. I don't know. I just don't know who's gonna like win it this year. But my favorite, if I had to pick, it would be Phoenix.
Okay, okay, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't really been following the NBA season like that, like I have in the past. I catch it here and there. I'm not as deep into like these different basketball games as I once was, but from from what I've been hearing and stuff like that, this playoff, the playoffs should be very interesting, man. You know,
For
and
sure.
like the crazy thing I've been noticing, I've been hearing is that LeBron James really has a chance to be the leading scorer. Like
Oh
what?
yeah,
He's like 34. Like that's crazy, man. He's
yeah.
been in the league like what 19, 18, 17, 19 seasons.
Dang, that's crazy. Yeah, it really is, and I don't like doing the LeBron and Jordan comparison because you really can't compare though. I go off. I try not to go off of stats too much, but I go off the impact. You know what I mean?
Mhm,
Like
mhm,
who had the most impact in the NBA? Like, you know, I mean, you could bring stats and stuff into it, I guess, but like who had the most impact? But yeah, like I don't think a lot of people hate LeBron just for no reason, but he is a
mhm,
great player. Like he's he's done all that he can do, and
mhm,
even Dwayne Wade said like this is the best LeBron that he's probably ever seen. He's LeBron is 34, and Dwayne Wade said this like a year or two ago. So it's still like
wow,
LeBron is kind of slowly like not really in his prime. He's not probably like as explosive as he used to be, but like
mhm,
I think he meant like his IQ and everything, his passing, his shooting, like everything, bro.
yeah,
It's crazy, but like it sucks that like the team that they have just doesn't cope together, like as a
mhm,
good team, like
yeah,
coaching and even like the players. Like it's just not a, it's just a bunch of players on the team.
mhm. That's true, man. Like I haven't seen like from what I catch on TV, little highlights, I see like they haven't really like gelled together, and that team doesn't mesh well because like these playing styles they don't play well together. You know LeBron is obviously his best with shooters around him, and he don't have that many shooters on the squad. You know.
Yeah, very true. So it's gonna be a weird. I don't know. It's gonna be a good playoff series. I just wanna, as a sports fan, I just like seeing competitive games, and that's all I'm
Hmm.
hoping for.
Oh, that's so real, man. Like I couldn't have said that any better, man. But
Yeah.
is there anything else you'd like to tell the people before we dip off, man?
Stay strong in the storm. Don't give up.
Okay, man. That's how we ended it, man. And that's it from the latest episode of the Young All American State of Mind podcast. If you enjoyed this pod episode, go ahead go check out all our other podcast episodes wherever you listen to us at, and go ahead make sure you go to the All American State of Mind YouTube channel and check out more of our original content. Go rate and review us, and go leave some likes and some comments, man. and share with 3 friends and tell your 3 friends to share with another 3. And don't forget to subscribe, man.
Yeah.
And
Yes,
stay
sir.
safe and be smooth.